Good evening. Welcome to Shepard High School. My name is Tim Baker. I'm the associate principal here. I'm going to go through an outline of the evening so you guys have an idea of what to expect. We're going to have Father Paul in a moment come out here and say a prayer. And then we're going to have Dr. Pollock, our principal, come out and speak. Then we'll have a number of Ryan's friends and family members and coaches come out and speak about Ryan. This is a celebration. It's a celebration of Ryan's life. But we also know that when we're celebrating someone's life, we're often grieving. And everyone grieves in their own way. Sometimes you're going to be mad, angry, you may be sad, happy, and proud at the same time. It's important to respect that everyone grieves in their own way. Tonight, it's okay to do all those things. We hope to see you laughing, smiling, and cheering, and crying as we celebrate Ryan's life.
Let's begin with a moment of silence. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord God, source and destiny of our lives, in your loving providence you gave us Ryan to grow in wisdom, age, and grace. Now you have called him to yourself. As we grieve over the loss of one so young, we seek to understand your purpose. Draw him to yourself and give him a full stature in Christ. May he stand with all the angels and saints who know your love and praise your saving will. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Good evening. I wanted to thank all of you for coming out tonight and helping us celebrate the life of a wonderful young man and student here at Shepard High School, Ryan Plowman. It is a testament to the strength of our community and to the Plowman family to see so many of you here tonight coming together to love and support each other. And what a wonderful place for us to celebrate Ryan's life right here on the very soccer field where he played with so much joy and brought our school so much pride. Mr. and Mrs. Plowman and the Plowman family, on behalf of Shepard High School, along with Ms. Nissen and our athletic department, we would like to dedicate Ryan's jersey number next season and provide all of our players with a number 4 armband to wear as they play next season to help carry forward Ryan's legacy. Thank you.
I met Ryan Plowman in 6th grade from Crestwood Soccer. I had the honor of being his teammate all 3 years, and then the last 2 years of my high school senior year. When you meet someone like Ryan, you realize that he is someone that you want to have as a friend, and what a friend should be. There is no other person you want on that soccer field going into battle with you than Ryan, as he'll always have your back. I had the privilege to call him both my friend and my teammate. I remember a memory he had. He was coming back home from the Bloom game, and me and him were walking behind Gannon, and Gannon fell down going down the bus stairs, and I remember us laughing together, and I didn't think that would be my last memory with him, but it was a good one to have, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I'll miss him, and I'll always remember him, and until we meet again, thank you.
Hello, Shepard family. Today as we speak, we're here to honor our man, Ryan Plowman. Ryan was my guy that I always counted on, especially on the soccer field. I know he was always there when I messed up. He would pick up after my slack when I needed him. Ryan and I had been playing soccer since we were 6 years old, and I enjoyed every moment of it. As our high school soccer came along, Ryan and I really strengthened our bond at the point where we yelled at each other. The mistakes wasn't even a problem anymore. Even showing towards the end of the season, I want to thank Ryan for leading my defense in the last 2 important games that allowed me to play another high school game when I got a red card. Thank you, Ryan. And as always, rest easy, and we love you for.
First and foremost, I would like to thank every single one of you for coming out tonight to celebrate the life of Ryan Plowman. The number of people here this evening is awe-inspiring because it shows just how many people Ryan was able to have a positive impact on. It is truly amazing to witness how many people were touched by his story and spirit. In moments like these, words are unable to fully explain to the extent to which we have all been affected by this deep tragedy. Ryan, you were the best man that I have ever known, and you were my brother and close friend. The memories that we have created together are numerous, and I am so grateful for the time that we spent together. Whether it be playing ping pong with you in your garage, which I would lose every single time, playing all 4 years of high school soccer with you, listening to Taylor Swift with you in your car, even though I didn't really like her, or messing around with you and Ty at lunch. I have so many wonderful memories that I will cherish and evoke in times of great despair. You had the purest soul in the galaxy, and the universe has lost one of its brightest stars with your passing. Your words of advice, your smile, your laughter, and your wit will remain within me for the rest of my life. With you gone, there is a void in our community, and I don't know if it will ever be filled. Simply put, no one can replace your beautiful soul. But through these tumultuous times, it is up to us as a community to stick together and fill the gaping holes in our hearts with all the love, caring, and positivity that Ryan showed us all in his time on this planet. I know that Drew, Ty, and I have to be here for each other because we owe it to Ryan to never leave each other's sides. Ryan, if there is a life after this one, I cannot wait for the day that I meet you there and give you an embrace that I may never let go of. You always reminded me to be compassionate and kind towards everyone, and I won't forget the lessons that you taught me. You pushed me to be a better person every day. I will carry on that spirit for the rest of my life. Even in knowing the laws of physics that dictate the vast cosmos, which you would know because you were a stud in AP Physics last year, at times the universe acts in ways that are unexplainable through any equation or mathematical figure. Sometimes life just doesn't make any logical sense, and this is one of those times. Ryan, whenever you saw me stressed and burnt out, you would tell me that since I only have one life to live, I should try and spend it relaxed and calm instead of overworked and worn out, because the things that I was overly stressed about don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. As Soren Kierkegaard said, life is not a problem to be solved, but rather a reality to be experienced, and you lived out those words every single day of your life. To Mr. and Mrs. Plowman, I thank you for raising this wonderful man, and I will always be by you and Drew's side, no matter what. Ryan, I love you so much, and I am grateful to have been your friend for these last 4 years. I will never forget you. Rest easy, brother. I will see you on the other side. Number 4 forever.
Hi, my name is Megan Kingzett, or to a lot of you, Mrs. Kingzett. I had the privilege of knowing Ryan in many ways. I was, of course, one of his favorite teachers at Incarnation. I am his friends, Emmett and Ethan's mom, and I also get to call his parents some of my best friends. As a teacher at Incarnation, my earliest memory of Ryan are those beautiful eyes peeking over our yellow counter, something only he could do at that age because he was always the tallest. I remember his sweet smile and his trademark buzz cut, but oh, those curls recently could just melt your heart. As a student, Ryan was quiet. He was so smart, confident, and humble. He was gentle and he acted only with kindness. He was a friend to everyone, big and small. The little ones always begged to have him be their prayer partner. There was not a bad bone in his body. As a mom, I remember never having to worry if my boys asked if Ryan could come over when we weren't home because Ryan was the good kid. Nothing's bad's gonna go on at my house if Ryan's there. Ryan was the friend who always said hi, thank you, please, and told us goodbye. But he could make us laugh too, like when he joked with Emmett after his surgery in December, saying that maybe he would finally be taller than me. He was Josh's Rubik's Cube partner, Emmett's bike ride buddy, and always rode the roller coasters at Cedar Point with Ethan. I couldn't have asked for a better friend for my boys. As a friend to Ryan's parents, Dan and Jen, I think the words that I wrote in the GoFundMe sums it up. Your son's inner joy always was shining. He was instantaneously loved by everyone that met him. His attitude towards everything was remarkable. All of that was because of the two of you. You are both an inspiration to us all. Your strength through this heartbreak is absolutely amazing, but this is where Ryan learned to be the man he was. Drew, our boys, all of ours, will be there whenever you need them. Dan, You can have our husbands whenever you want them. And Jen, your golden girls will be by your side forever. And just a little FYI, you know us, we might have something up our sleeve for tomorrow. Thank you.
Well, standing here today, I feel a little out of place after all those speeches that were just sad, to say the least. But I don't have much of a speech to say, but more of a memory that I made with Ryan. At the beginning of the season, we every goal we scored, every penalty that was saved, every save that I made, he made it his goal to make it the first person he came to. He was always by my side as my favorite center back over Zayd, of course. But he was always by my side. He was always the first person to congratulate me after a win. After every goal we scored, he was the first person to give me a hug. And for that, I cherish that until the day I die and see him on the other side. For that, thank you, number 4, and live on.
Before I start, this is kind of long, so hey everyone, my name is Aiden Breslin, and Ryan was my friend, classmate, and teammate since the first day of kindergarten at Incarnation. Everything we were involved in within our lives, we were always doing it together. For our whole lives, we went to the same school together, and every sports team we were on, we were always on the same team. Throughout the 13 years I knew him, he never changed. He was always the kindest, most selfless, and caring person anyone could ever know. In all the years I went to school with Ryan, he always had great grades. He was a straight-A student, and it would be rare to even see a B on his report card. With all that knowledge and motivation he had, he used to always help me out, even if it probably wasn't the smartest thing to do for himself. For example, in 8th grade, Mrs. Plowman would drive Ryan, Drew, and I to school every day. Once I would get in the car, he would do the same thing every day. He would hand me all his notebooks so I could copy his homework to get credit for those times I never did. I would never ask him to do so, but it's just the type of guy he was, so he wanted to do it anyway. Ryan also got me into working out and getting into better shape more seriously. We always would talk about how once we reached the age to go lift or be able to go to the soccer field on our own, it would be great. Before we were really able to, we would still do some things in my basement or in the backyard. In like 4th grade, I even colored a piece of paper and wrote on it, "Play Beast Mode Today." That was hung up in my garage door, so every time we left to go to Incarnation basketball games or Crescent soccer games, we could hit the piece of paper just like how Notre Dame players always hit their "Play Like a Champion Today" sign in the locker room before every game. Changed to beast mode because we used to be obsessed with that word because of Marshawn Lynch, the running back for the Seahawks, who we both loved. It was his nickname. When we first officially started going to the gym, we would always wake up at 5:45 a.m. and meet at the corner at 6:15 every single day, so we could go to the Crescent Rec before school and lift. We always talked about how we wanted to get stronger so it could help us on the field and also so we could just look cooler. We both will always remember Zeno taking us to El Gallo after we refed a game with him. Zeno gave us this big speech about how important getting bigger is. To prove a point, he ordered us both a burrito and two steak quesadillas and told us we had to finish it to leave. We both were in like 8th grade and weighed 100 pounds. It wasn't even humanly possible for either of us to finish it, but somehow Ryan did. I guess he must have just wanted to show Zeno that he'd be stronger than him when he got to Zeno's age. Those are all great memories, but by far, my favorite part of Ryan was playing soccer with him for the past 2 years at Shepard. He was the main reason I transferred schools, and because I transferred, he would always tell me how cool it would be if I would go. Before I transferred, he would always tell me how cool it would be if I would go to Shepard and play there for him for my last 2 years. I will always remember how happy he was when I told him I was transferring. We just got done playing football in my backyard with Ty and the other guys, and we were in my garage. I told him I was transferring, and he was so happy that we could play together again. For our junior season, he didn't have his license yet, so I'd pick him up for every practice and game to drive to Shepard for the bus, or if it was only just a home game, I would too. Every game we listened to the same song before we got out of the car. It was Love No Thotties by Chief Keef. It was our favorite pump-up song and made us play well every single time. My favorite soccer memory was when I scored my first goal for Shepard was Lincoln Way West on a free kick in the second game of my Shepard career. Before I could even run to the corner to celebrate, Ryan was already putting on a 40-yard sprint from defense so he could be the first one to celebrate with me because he knew how much it meant to me. Any records or any awards I have won are all because of Ryan. That is why when my All-State plaque gets put up in the halls, there will also be a picture of Ryan on it where he's holding up the regional championship plaque. That was won because of him. There's a 0% chance I would have either of those if it wasn't for Ryan. With all this said, this just shows how much Ryan has done for me in my life. I'm sure like 50 other people could write something like this about Ryan because he cared about so many people. Even though his life is short-lived, he accomplished things in life that most people won't be able to in their whole lives. Rest in peace, Ryan. We all love you.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Cadence Jones, Ryan's girlfriend, and standing with me is Ty Erbauer, Ryan's best friend. I would like to start by saying thank you to everyone who has come out tonight to celebrate the life of Ryan Plowman, and say I'm very sorry to those of you who have lost a son, brother, grandson, nephew, cousin, teammate, and friend. Ryan will forever be one of the strongest, kindest, most dedicated people we've ever met. Ryan was an extraordinary person, a one in a million. From day one, he always made sure to put others before himself, simply by standing up for those he cared about, even though on the soccer field, standing up for his teammates didn't always stay contact-free. Ryan had two moments in his soccer career he could never stop talking about, although one of which wasn't his brightest moments. Ryan's sophomore year, while he was on JV, he managed to score an 80-yard goal, soaring down the whole field from the defensive line, through the keeper's hands and into the back of the net. He made sure to tell everyone that story, just to brag about how strong his legs were. The other time had to be when he got a red card early this season. He walked off the field and took off his shirt with pride. I go, "Ryan, why did you do that? That's not like you." His response was simply, "I don't know, but it was pretty badass if you ask me." I don't know where his confidence came from, whether it was from outlifting Ty, John, Aiden, and Bill at the gym, or being the heartthrob at Whitewater Canyon. Either way, he deserved to have the confidence he had. He earned it in so many ways, from his academic achievements, his all-conference award after playing 2 extraordinary varsity seasons for Shepard, and his multiple held close to the heart relationships with so many people. Being close with Ryan was like an award, something not everyone got to have. I'll never be able to say it enough when I tell you Ryan had the purest soul. His smile lit up the room, it was contagious. If he smiled, everyone around him was smiling. Ryan was someone who always smiled, and smiled with pride and not a care in the world. Never was there a time seeing Ryan where he didn't have the biggest smile and laughs that filled the air. Ryan was a person who always puts everyone before himself, and that is a trait that is very hard to find in someone. If either of us and many others ever needed anything, he made sure he was there, whether he was listening to you on the phone or rushing his way over to our houses to be there for us. Ryan didn't just listen though, he gave advice and encouragement. When Ryan spoke his words of wisdom, as he and I called it, it made me feel like I could achieve anything I wanted, and I knew he would be here for me every step of the way. One time I happened to ask Ryan, "How are you just so carefree and happy all the time?" He then told me, "Cadence, life is too short to have a worry in the world. You don't know what tomorrow will bring you, and so you just have to live your life." From this moment on, Ryan had officially touched and changed my life for the long run. Ryan always made sure to give credit from those who he got these traits from, whether it was Miss Plowman, Mr. Plowman, Drew the trainer, or Coach Zeno. And to all of you, thank you for shaping Ryan into the amazing young man he was. Ty has been a part of Ryan's life since Crestwood basketball in preschool, and from here their story begins. Although they weren't close until summer going into high school, going on a 14-year-long friendship, Ryan wasn't just Ty's best friend, he was his brother. Ryan was there for Ty through his hardest and easiest times. Ty reminded him daily, "Ryan, if it wasn't for you, I truly would have no idea where I would be today." It's almost embarrassing, he told me, how many times Ryan was able to pull him out of life's quicksand and put him back on his feet. From backslaps at the gym where Ryan would push Ty past his limits to bring out the potential Ryan saw in him that Ty wasn't able to see himself, to slaps across the face telling him he needs to get his act together. Countless memories the two of them have together is more to fill a lifetime, and in every single one of those the selfless character of Ryan was shown. The respect the two had for each other was unmatched to others. Countless memories of hanging out simply from chatting about the ups, downs, and bottoms of life, to messing around playing baseball, basketball, soccer, and volleyball. Even though Ryan was a firm believer that soccer was a harder sport than baseball, he always made sure to make time to pitch to Ty so that he could better himself. Although it didn't have the brightest of upturns, like when Ryan swore he could pick and you absolutely messed up his mouth with that baseball, or the time Ty kicked him in the head at a soccer game on accident. Again, Ryan being the sweet, smiley soul he was, he got up laughing and smiling. That was the thing about Ryan. No matter what life threw at him, that contagious smile never left his face. He was the most thoughtful, strongest, kindest person to have ever entered his life and changed him to be the best person he could have possibly become. Ryan had only just entered my life a couple months ago. Even though our time together was cut short and we had a whole future of memories awaiting us, he will forever have that everlasting impact that he left with me. I stand here with pride today being able to have once called Ryan mine. There was a side to Ryan that I was very fortunate to see, and that was a side of him nobody besides me knew existed. We met at Whitewater Canyon this past summer, and when I tell you there was an instant connection between us, I'm not watering that down at all. I don't know what it was, Ryan, but I do have to admit it definitely had to do with that bright smile of yours. I'll never forget when we first started talking, you told me, okay, so you won the parents, but now you gotta win Ty, and if Ty doesn't like you, you gotta go. Thanks, Ryan. This side of Ryan was compassionate and romantic, from opening the car door for me or holding doors open. Whenever I needed him the most, he was on his way, and he always showed up with flowers for me. He held my hand as he drove and played songs that reminded him of me, as he sang the lyrics, squeezing my hand when there was a lyric he wanted me to pay close attention to. One song in particular that he played for me was called Talking to the Moon by Bruno Mars, and it was our song. Every key moment the two of us had together, that song was always on, and it was like a ritual when he would drop me off. We'd always sit in the car and listen to it before I got out. We truly thought we were crazy. The respect Ryan had for me, the gentleman he was, there will never be enough words to describe the most pure, down-to-earth soul he was. He was the living definition of the guy a father would know would treat his daughter right, just from that very first firm handshake that Ryan was so proud of. At both of our homecomings we went together. I went to tie my shoe and he told me, no, I got it, you don't need to bend over. He was the perfect balance of genuine and protective. He always made sure I felt safe and loved, and I did. I'll never have enough words to express how much Ryan meant to me or the impact he had on my life. From the day I met you, Ryan, I found my missing piece, and even my parents said you changed me for the better. You came into my life and drained all the water. Until we meet again, my love, I'll be talking to the moon, and I hope you are on the other side talking to me too. For you, Ryan, everything we do and push ourselves to do is for you. Drew, you will now forever have another brother and now a sister. We are family. Whether you want to get rid of us or not, you're stuck, bud. I do believe that there's a reason for everything that happens, but this is one of those moments where truly there is no reasoning. There may not be a reasoning behind this tragedy, but there is a lesson, and a lesson we all needed. Life is short, way too short. You don't know what life will throw at you tomorrow. Tomorrow is never promised. Never go to sleep mad at those you love. Hug them close and tight and constantly remind them of how much you love them. And finally, live life the Ryan way, to the fullest, always with a smile on your face, with all the pride in the world. We love you, Ryan, and always will. Thank you.
My name is Cadence. My most treasured memory of my friend and teammate Ryan Plowman was when he would make jokes about me for being the water boy. And every time I wasn't, he would congratulate me and say something along the lines of, I'm proud of you for actually being a part of the team. Ryan made a positive impact on me, and he set a great role model for the kind and caring person I strive to become in the future. I miss you, Ryan, and may God be with you. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Good evening. I tried to go before Aiden because he kind of stole my favorite memories of Ryan, the one that he texted me at school. But Ryan was just one of the best teammates and friends you could have out on the field, on and off it. he was always there for me since freshman year and even before when we had Crestwood Soccer. And he just impacted my life very much. I don't think there's any times where he ever made me feel bad or down. There was always good moments. And, you know, he always brought a smile to everybody's face and to my face a lot. One of my favorite memories about him was every time we would go to a game, or even if it wasn't with Shepard team or it was just outside of Shepard, we would be in the car, me, Aiden, Miguel, and every time I hear this song in my headphones, it just reminds me of Ryan. And this song just, I mean, it's not a good song, but the words it says is not really something that you would think Ryan would listen to, Lo No Talis by Chief Keef, but every time it comes on, it just reminds me of Ryan and how much he played it. He would play it before a game, after the game. It was just his hype song. And that made me feel special when I heard it, or when I hear it nowadays because it just makes me feel, it reminds me of Ryan. He also motivated me over the summer to start working out because I saw how big he was and I wanted to be just like him. He started telling me to take all these protein shakes and thought I was gonna die. But Ryan, if he came out like that, I thought I could too. And he even gave me his workout plan, and to this day I still use it. And I call it the Ryan workout because of how much it impacted. But just off that, I miss you, Ryan, and I love you. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jason Nisovic, Ryan's AP Psychology teacher, and I want to express all of our sincere condolences to the Plowman family and Ryan's loved ones. I knew Ryan for a short time, since the beginning of the school year, but even from those interactions, I could tell that he made the world around him much brighter. Always polite, always ready to help, always ready to laugh. Our classes spent time writing notes to Ryan's family, and looking through them, it's clear that Ryan has left a powerful impression on a great number of people. The note writers use words like wonderful, always made my day better, a kind soul, inspirational, pushing me to do better, a beautiful person, the brightest smile in the hall. We should all aspire to live our lives like Ryan, spreading joy and positivity wherever we can. It's one way that we can celebrate and repay the goodness that he brought to us. I've seen many, many people, both teenager and adult, grapple with this terrible loss. Whatever higher power, whatever greater plan there may be, its decision to take Ryan now must seem particularly hard to understand. However you're feeling right now, whether it's anger, sadness, or just plain shock and numbness, there is no wrong way to grieve. I'm very glad that we're coming together as a community to support each other. Remember to be kind to yourself, and remember this one truth. Ryan is not truly gone. A human being does not end on their last day, and their reach is not limited by their skin. A person is like a river. We ebb and we flow throughout our lives, and sometimes we cross paths with another, and when our rivers intersect, we strengthen each other. We feed each other. We divert each other. And when our paths separate, whether we were together for a day or for 17 years, we both emerge changed, bringing the best of each other with us along our path. So let's take a moment. If you can, think about your best moment with Ryan. And it doesn't matter how small it was. Maybe he picked up your pencil and gave it to you when you dropped it. Maybe he did something silly to make you laugh. or sing along in the car with a song he really shouldn't be singing. A time he inspired you, pushed you, made you better. Picture that moment right now. Hold it close. Keep it warm. Carry it with you as your river flows on. And Ryan will never be gone. Rest in peace, Ryan.
I cannot say that I'm speaking tonight because I knew Ryan so well. I didn't. He was a consistent student in my AP US history class, and just as his father has described in a few of the interview segments I've seen, Ryan was both determined and committed. He invested himself into our class despite the intensity of the workload and what I presume was not a deep love of history. He always wrote with a nice pen, like those kind of gel ink ones that write smooth and even on the page. He was the type of student you could assign the strange historical figures for a research project, and you know he'd just roll with it, just like his pens. That's how he ended up as Sylvester Graham for our reform party, in character discussing the virtues of a celibate lifestyle and a vegetarian diet rich in whole grains. He even brought a package of Sylvester Graham's graham crackers to share at the party. He was a good sport in that way, just rolling with the demands, meeting them with a smooth and steady temperament and a playful spirit. I could list off dozens of observations from our time together, list off all of his many strengths as a student and a community member. But tonight I can best celebrate his life by sharing an email I sent to him on October 26th, the day after the sectional game. So I'm gonna read that. Subject, fan mail, sort of. Hey Ryan, I'm sorry to hear about the end of the season. I suspect that when you're good at something, losses seem so much more consequential. Being terrible at sports myself, I can only imagine what that is like. While it may not do much to allay your own disappointment, I wanted to let you know that to my 7-year-old, you are the coolest. I only knew a few of the players on the team, so I think that sort of elevated your status with Cyril. And then he remembered your number from last year, so he paid attention to you at the game last Friday. We have never been to a professional soccer game, so to him, you are like the height of skill and awesomeness. Thanks for being a stand-up role model for my kid. It is the highest compliment I can pay. My kid admires you for the real things that you do, Miss Boone. I work with so many wonderful kids here at Shepard. Athletic, natural leaders, intelligent, kind. But Ryan was a kid I hoped my kids grew up to be like. He was all substance and integrity, and I admire him for the real things he did in his 17 years. And I hope you rest peacefully, Ryan.
Good evening, everyone. I have the privilege of reading a few remarks from the players that thought they were unable to speak. They said it was probably going to be too difficult for them. First person up, CJ. When me and Ryan were younger and played on the same soccer team because our schools were combined, we always fought over who was going to play defense because the other person had to play keeper. Usually, he would play defense and I would play goalie. I started liking to play goalie and just let him play defense. He was one of the main reasons I became a goalie. Thank you, Ryan. From Kyle. Ryan was one of the best teammates I've ever had. He was so inspirational and so hardworking. He would take the time out of his day and help you no matter what. Thank you, Ryan. Isaac. My favorite memory with Ryan was when we were both injured, and instead of complaining, we were both laughed it off and joked about it together while Drew was making us do rehab exercises. Thank you, Ryan. Chris. favorite memory is freshman year, Ryan scoring a goal versus Argo from half field and him being a leader and a captain to me when I was a freshman. Thank you, Ryan. Damien, my favorite memory of Ryan was celebrating the regional championship with him. I think that was everybody's favorite memory, just for a note. Thank you, Ryan. Dimitri, my favorite memory with Ryan was when we were talking after we started a fight with Oak Lawn. That shouldn't be your favorite memory. A lot of Oak Lawn kids were around me, and Ryan came over. They all kind of backed away, and everything calmed down. He was a great teammate and an even better friend. Thank you, Ryan. Miguel, my favorite memory of Ryan was when Luke started to talk smack about Ryan, saying he couldn't beat him in wrestling. So Ryan took it upon himself and made him his son and made him look like a fool in front of his friends. May you rest in peace, Ryan. From Stanley, Ryan was always a funny, stand-up guy who always had a smile on him, and even if it was a bad day, he would always figure out a way to make you laugh and make you feel better. Thank you, Ryan. Rantisi, my favorite memory with Ryan was during the Oak Forest game and the fight happened. You could see a pattern. Ryan came over to me and we started making fun of the ref. I apologize, I didn't proofread these. Making fun of the ref for giving Brian the card instead of Zach. Thank you, Ryan. Gory, my favorite memory was the night I went to his house to play ping pong in his garage and we just didn't even play. We were messing around hitting trick shots and laughing back and forth, all while jamming out to throwbacks. Thank you, Ryan. Ralph, one thing I liked about him is how he always was able to joke around, and even when I met him for the first time, he always had a smile on his face. Thank you, Ryan. Stazel, one time in practice, Ryan complimented my defending during a drill, and that meant a lot to me because I looked up to him and he was a great role model. Thank you, Ryan. Philip, my favorite memory was winning games alongside him, but more importantly, celebrating with him. He was always one of the first people I looked forward to celebrate with. Thank you, Ryan. Carlos, one of my favorite things about Ryan was that he was always happy. No matter where he was, he always had a massive smile on his face, and it got everyone else smiling as well. There isn't one specific memory with him, but I know that every time I was with him, he would always make me laugh, especially in scrimmages. Thank you, Ryan. Jimmy, my favorite memory of Ryan was when JV, our freshman year, and ended up winning the Solero Cup that same year. He was always a team player from the start. I witnessed this freshman year. We were running laps because someone had said something bad at the game, but no one knew who said it. So Ryan stepped up and took the blame for his teammates and said it was him. After that day, I realized how much he truly cared about others, and from that day on, he continued to do so. Thank you, Ryan. Jake, my favorite memory of Ryan was running onto the field to celebrate the regional championship and seeing him as happy as could be. Thank you, Ryan. As much as I love him, it sucks hugging him because he's 6'5", just so you guys know. So just two groups of people I'd like to thank. First of all, thank you everybody that showed up today. If it's not blatantly obvious for the ones that don't know, He was special to everybody. Second group are these two. They raised one hell of a kid. Thank you, guys. All right, to finish off the night, we're going to have Mr. Plowman. I have a couple words.
Thank you, everyone. This is truly, truly amazing. The day Ryan was born, and the day his little brother Drew was born, it was by far the happiest days of our life. The last 2 weeks, by far, it's been the most stressful, heartbreaking weeks of my life that I've ever had. Losing my firstborn, it made me want to give up. But tell you what, all the calls, the text messages, the Facebook posts, it helped tremendously. But still, a piece of our house, it's gone, it's broken, and we're doing our best to recover, but we can never replace that missing piece. I have many thanks to give for the tremendous amount of support my family has received this past week. First, to my wonderful family, to my brother Wayne, who drove directly from Cleveland, Ohio. It should have taken him 5 hours, he made it in 4. To my brother-in-law John and his family, who flew 3,500 miles from Anchorage. To my Uncle Roy from South Florida. And then to my family that's close by. When I needed you, you guys were there in minutes. Without our entire family, I could not have made it through that night. I'm so honored that you were there with me, Jen, and Drew when Ryan had his final moments. To our friends, you were with us early on that first Sunday that we were home. You gave us exactly what we needed. We needed your company more than anything else at that time. I'm so grateful to have such amazing friends and family. To everyone who came to the ICU that Saturday night, I know it was incredibly hard for everyone. What you showed us boosted the image of our son Ryan to even higher levels, and they were really high to start with. You showed us how many close friendships he had. You showed us how many friends he had touched. You showed us how important he was to you and how important you were to him. We learned that Ryan has very many close friends. Of course, we knew quite a few of them, but had no idea there were so many more. The stories, the pictures that were shared touched our hearts and made us even more proud of our son Ryan. I have to thank the doctors, especially the nurses that took care of Ryan. Our first nurse, Emily, absolutely phenomenal. Every nurse after that, she was just as amazing. The care and compassion was off the charts. I have to give special thanks to my cousin's wife, Amy. Amy is a nurse at Comers. She was on the floor the day that things went really wrong for us. That day and the day before, she brought us coffee. We were so happy to see her. And then when things went bad, she was the first one that came down and she held us. So thank you, Amy. To my soccer family, I know all of you loved Ryan. Ryan loved you and our soccer club too. To Zeno and the Toscas family, your support for us has been amazing. Like family because you are family. Zeno, you helped transform my little boy into a beast of a man. He looked up to you in so many ways, and I know you loved him like a son. We cannot thank you enough for everything my Crestwood soccer family, my Shepard soccer family has done for us. Then I'd like to give extra thanks to two very special people. These two I consider part of my immediate family. One has been around for years, and the other just a few months. They stepped up to keep Drew company while Jen and I were taking care of Ryan in the hospital. They're absolutely amazing. Ty and Cadence, I am so honored that you were loved and you love my Ryan. I am blessed that you're part of our lives. Part of this whole nightmare is now that Ryan is gone and I may not see you two very often. I hope and pray that's not the case. Drew needs the two of you, and to be honest, Jen and I need you just as much. We love you two so much. Lastly, I have to thank all of you. It is incredible to see how many care for Ryan, to see how many people he impacted, to see how many friends he truly has. It's incredible. It makes us so proud. And thank you to Shepard High School and all the surrounding high schools for your support. You have no idea how much this means to us. It's absolutely amazing. It's mind-blowing. Thank you all. This has assured us that Ryan will never be forgotten. Thank you.
So this may be bittersweet for somebody in attendance. We're presenting you the regional ball that we beat Sandburg. We beat Sandburg to win the regional title. The entire team signed this ball. This is probably the best thing out of the season, and we want to present it to the Plowmans.
This concludes tonight's vigil. We do want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I know many of you brought orange balloons. We will be releasing those momentarily. As a reminder as well, we do have poster boards on either side of the bleachers if you'd like to leave a message for Ryan or the family. Again, on behalf of the Shepard community, we thank you all for coming out, celebrating Ryan's life. And we know this service information has been posted around for the wake and funeral the next couple of days. Again, thank you very much for coming out tonight, and this concludes our vigil.
To the moon.